Walter, the Agriculture Program Manager for We Energies and also come from a dairy farm. First cow here is a milking shorthorn. We'll start by milking her, the Ayrshire on the left end. We'll take you through the process. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask, otherwise we'll keep moving. So what we first do is prep a cow. And we prep a cow, it's like an iodine solution. She is going to squirt the end of each teat, all 4 teats, and just an iodine solution, antibiotic if you will, and then wipe off the ends of the teats. What it does is it stimulates a milk letdown for a cow. Cows are milked either 2 or 3 times a day. If it's twice a day, every 12 hours. If it's 3 times a day, every 8 hours. When she's completed with this, she will dry off the end of the teat. What it does is it gets any dirt, particles off there, everything you want to keep clean. And she'll take the little cup there and take a strip from each teat. There's a screen in the top of it, and that way if the cow has any mastitis, there's any chunks in the milk, we will know to treat the cow and get rid of the milk, not use it for human consumption. So you take a couple squirts out of each teat, take a look at it. If it's white, looking at the color, make sure it flows well. And what that does stimulates everything with the cow. About 30 seconds later, you want to put the machine on the cow and begin your milking process. Average cow takes about 7 to 10 minutes to milk per milking, depending on what she's given, where she's at in her lactation. A cow calves at about 2 years of age. When she calves, she has a baby, which is called a calf. For about 2 months, we call it a calf, 2 to 3 months, and then she becomes a heifer. That's when she goes to eat and dry matter. Growing up until about 2 years old, and they have a cow, or the cow becomes a cow when she has her first calf at 2 years, and then she'll have a baby about every year. As you can see, look at the rear of the cow's udder. This is called the udder where the milk is in. Right here, it's nice and kind of solid. When she's all done, it'll like shrivel up. So as she's milking, you can watch it. If you listen in the background, you can hear kind of pulsing, and I'll be quiet for a second so you guys can hear it. And what it is it's pulsing between the front and the back teats, pulling the milk out. It's like massaging the teats. The milk comes down, goes through the claws, what it's called underneath, and you can see it going through the clear line. Goes through the clear line up into the glass pipeline. From the pipeline, it will go down into the bulk tank or milk cooler, which is behind the end window down there. And there, it comes out of the cow at about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll be cooled down to about 38 degrees, and it'll be picked up daily by a milk hauler. The milk hauler will take it to wherever they're going, and if it's used for human consumption milk, it will be on shelves within a day or 2. If it's being used for cheese, butter, ice cream, and any other fine dairy products, it will take a little bit longer to get to the store. What's that? Yes, it's homogenized and pasteurized at the milk plant. Thank you. So, yes. Question is, how much milk does a cow give? The average cow milks about 7 gallons a day. There's 8.6 pounds in a gallon, so it's about 60 pounds a day. They're milked for about 305 days a year, and they take about a 2-month dry period right before they have their baby. So that comes out to about 22,000 pounds of milk a year. And if you guys look at it, you go to the store, you buy it in gallons. So there's about 12 gallons per 100 pounds of milk. And the reason I refer to 100 pounds of milk is that's what the farmer gets paid, is per 100 pounds of milk. So right now they're getting about $14, $15 per 100 pounds of milk. You guys pay a couple pounds a gallon, maybe 25 bucks for that 100. So a farmer's gets about 15. He has to pay for the feed, the electric bill, everything else that goes involved. Right now prices aren't real good for the dairy farmers. How do the calves come out? I'm going to let your parents or grandparents explain that one. So typically a cow has 1 calf at a time. If it's a female, it'll stay on the farm. If it's a male, it'll usually be shipped for beef or steers. The dairy breed is milk cows. The beef is for your meat. Okay, so dairy and beef are a little bit different. You want to know the question about my head? Oh, how many pounds of milk does it take to make a pound of cheese? It's about 10 pounds. 10 pounds of milk to make a pound of cheese.
Oh,
yep.
Wow. Hey, you were going over the numbers before. You said per 100 weight is
Farmer gets paid per hundredweight, correct.
And what is the cost to get it?
What's the cost for the farmer to produce per hundredweight? That's a tricky question because it's not the same on any two farms. I hear anywhere from $14 to $18 a hundredweight. So when you're getting paid 15, a lot of people aren't making a lot of money. It depends on, every farm is run differently. The average farm has about 130 cows on the farm in Wisconsin. And the last group asked me, well, how much does it make, how many cows do you have to make money? Well, that is such a loaded question because I've seen cow farms with 10 or 15 cows make money. You see 1,000 cow farms not make money. You know, there's a lot more to farming than is you see just putting a machine on a cow and milking her. Every batch of feed typically is made with a certain amount, like when you mix a batch of cookies, a certain amount of protein, everything put in there, and it's weighed out. So you know exactly what it is, and it's all mixed together, and the cows eat the same thing. Every bite should have the same amount of everything in it. So that's how they go by. They mix it in a big mixer now and drive down to barns and feed them. Now there's all sorts of farms. There's the older farms, and there's still many operating good today, where a cow has its own stall. Cows come into a barn, they each go to their own stall. There's other farms where they go out in the freestall barn, they call it. That's where the cows stay, then they come into milk. This is an example of a step-up parlor. A cow comes in, just milks here. There's also a pit parlor where a cow stands down, or the individuals, the milkers, stand down in a pit for ergonomics, and they milk them at like waist height. Then there's also a carousel parlor that goes in a circle where you kind of like a merry-go-round. You stand there, the first guy preps the cow, the next guy puts a machine on, the next guy maybe takes it off or dips her at the end. In many of the parlors, when the cow's done milking it, automatically the machine is taken off the cow. Okay, you put it on. In this parlor here, we have to take it off. Let's take a look at this end cow here that we were talking about. And you can see how it's all shriveled up there? That's why I had you guys take a look at it. She's just about done milking now. When she's done milking, they'll take the machine off, put an iodine solution on. So we have 7 breeds of cows here. Like I said, the Milky Shorthorn and the Ayrshire here. There's Brown Swiss, Jerseys, Guernseys, Holsteins, Red and Whites. And each cow has a little different makeup, and they're a little different size, different color, if you will. And like these are a little smaller breeds of cows, where if you get like a black and white Holstein or red and white, they're going to be a little bit larger. The Jerseys, some people say look like deer, they're a little bit smaller. They have higher butter fat. The Holsteins give more milk. So there's all the different breeds of cows. About 95% of your cows are Holstein in Wisconsin. Everybody wants to get the most milk out of the cow as you can, because that's where you get paid for the milk, like we talked about. So you want to keep your cows as comfortable as possible. Some of the things we use is fans, sprinkling systems, like a mister that you guys have. So a lot of times you drive by and you say, well, man, when I was younger, there were cows out in the fields all over. On a hot day like today, where are they all standing? Underneath the one tree out there. And so what we've done is we're not being mean to cows, we're trying to keep them at an ideal comfort level, so we use fans and sprinklers to keep them inside. Today, if you had the option, on most days, if the cow was going to stay in the barn or go out and stand under the tree, they'd stay in the barn, just like you and I do. On a 90-degree day, do we want to go stand in the sun? No, we want to keep cool. And so they stay there and get to eat. They eat, they rest, they come and milk. So it's by their choice, you know, where they would rather be inside. An ideal temperature for a cow is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So think about, you know, in Wisconsin, it's cooler than California, and they say all the cappy cows are in California. I don't know, they don't want to be that warm, you know. California's a warmer state, so. This cow here on the right is done, the one on the left is just about done. A couple other things, there's the House of Moo behind us in the dairy barn here, if you guys want to learn more about dairy. And there's in the products pavilion, grilled cheese stand, which is put together by State Fair Dairy Promotion Board. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions, or if nobody has any, I will stick around for individual. Yes? Okay, question is, do milking cows eat it, or your dairy cows eat a different diet than your beef cows? Absolutely. You're trying to finish them off with marble. You wouldn't want to eat a steak out of a dairy cow. When they're done, it usually goes to hamburger and other items. But yes, it is definitely a very different diet.
What what's the newest technology that all the farmers want to get?
Question is, what's the newest technology that all the farmers want to get? There is no answer. I can give you a couple new technologies where there's robotic milkers, there's cows wearing necklaces now. Like it's got a pedometer in it, so you can look at it on your computer and see how many steps the cow's taken. Why do you care? Well, if a cow's taking more steps, she might be in heat, time to breed. If she's taking less, she might be getting sick or coming down with something. She might be getting ready to calve. But that's one of them. But there's no one technology that everybody's going to today. Yes, sir.
I was at another barn and you were saying something about cows and
Cows can be in heat while they're still lactating. Absolutely. Cows start coming in heat at about 30 to 60 days after they have their calf. You'll breed a cow typically 60 days. It's going to be about 300 days before the cow has a calf. She'll be probably both these are pregnant. I don't know right now. Most cows that are lactating are pregnant because they're 9 months pregnant and they have a 2-month dry period. So you dry them up 2 months before, about 2 months before they have their next calf. So absolutely. Okay, I'll stick around if you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, thank you and enjoy your day at Wisconsin State Fair. We have some Baker's cheese over here with Nicole, and that's where the milk is going, and they've sponsored some cheese today. Thank you.